Beautiful day for a walk in the park or a drive, and that's what I've done. I've driven down here to the park. I had promised a little more details about my MGB with a Ford V8 in it. So that's what this is. It's a 5-liter small block, or the 302 as they used to be known. It's been bored 30 over, so it's 306 cubic inches with flat top pistons. Now, the car was sitting very low and had trouble not dragging the mufflers. So what I've done is I've put bigger wheels and tires on it, but the 7-inch wheels made the tires stick out too far, so I welded some flares on there and molded them in, and then therefore had to paint the car again. So with the heavy-duty racing springs, which are strictly for road racing, race MGB cars, very stiff. Too stiff for the street, as one of the guys on one forum found out. Took them out because of that, and I got them for a reasonable price, and they hold up that V8 just fine. The car still sat a little too low, so the bigger wheels and tires have helped. Also, another thing I did for the weight on the front end was to install GT40 aluminum heads. Now they've got big ports and 202 intakes and 1.6 exhaust, which is probably a good bit more than this engine needs, but it reduces the weight up front and allows the thing to breathe as much as it wants. Looking around the rest of the car, you see the roll bars. I got them bent up by S&W race cars up in Pennsylvania, and they sent them down. And then I trimmed everything and notched bars to fit, welded them in. So it's the idea of what the Cobras looked like, and it fit. I made it so that it fits underneath the roof. And of course it's a top-down day, so that's not on here now. Some other things I've done besides putting that Ford engine in is the Ford C6 automatic. Originally this car was built with my buddy Larry in mind. He was wanting something like this. He had the MG, and the old engine was just too tired, and he said, well, instead of rebuilding that, let's put a Ford in it. So, and his left leg wasn't working the way it should, so he didn't want a 4-speed or a 5-speed, so we put an automatic in it. It's a C6, which he had rebuilt, and is a very solid unit. Larry's since found out that the problem with his leg has invaded the rest of his body. It's Parkinson's disease. A very sad situation. He's not driving at all anymore. So when he decided he didn't need the car, we arranged a swap, and I got it back, and I've been working on it ever since. It's got a Dana 44 rear in it. It's out of a Jeep DJ. That's the old postal Jeeps. It's the exact same track or width as the MG. So after welding spring mounts on it, hooking some things up back there, it went right in. And now we've got, instead of a 410 gear ratio with that automatic, we have a 307. It makes cruising down the highway very easy, and it's quite responsive with as much power as it has. So it's a lot of fun. The engine is a 302 Ford, and it doesn't fit. So we had to do some work. I made motor mounts and a transmission cross member. Had to make my headers so that everything would fit in the engine compartment. It's still very tight. I have a 1965 Ford Falcon Sprint radiator, which was made for this engine, so that works real good. And has an electric fan on the front, and there's a thermostat that's controllable. It's adjustable. Now, we used a Edelbrock F4B high-rise intake. A shorter intake would have made the whole engine fit under the hood, but this is too tall, so we put the hood scoop on it. The engine has all new pistons, rings, bearings, new camshaft. It's a comp cams. It's basically a torque type cam. Cruises very effortlessly, produces torque right from idle on up. It'll light the tires up so easily. And the thing breathes very well. Electronic distributor in it. ProComp works good. Got an electric fuel pump on it. The radiator has an overflow here and does not seem to cause any problems. The car is a work in progress. We have a B&M Quicksilver shifter on it. It works great. You can slap it if you like, put it in low and then slap it when you want to shift, or just put it in drive, and it works fine. Seats are in very good shape. I'm in the process of putting window fuzzies and seals in the doors. That's why the door cards are off. That still needs to be adjusted. And here's the roll bars that I had bent up and welded in.